Okay, hey everybody. We are going to record this and get this done for Beat Synapse. I started my new podcast. We relaunched after, deliberation after like 6 months. We were kind of going through a lot of changes. I had a whole team built up, and we're going to be dropping a platform pretty soon for the music industry, and it's already getting wild. People are already like going nuts about it and wanting to know what is happening. So we thought, why not jump on our podcast again and start to put the noise out there? Because the best way, to get it out there would be the quickest way to distribute it. And so when we first started doing this whole thing, I kind of had a I had a small lapse where I wasn't really doing too much, and I was just kind of building up the artist management. And so here we are again, finally back, and we're this time introducing our first episode, visual episode, with a special somebody. I've been waiting to get this done the right way, and unfortunately Hadi is not here, so he's my co-founder. He is the guy that does all the technology. He's behind all of that stuff, so I can do my job best because we already have enough as it is. And so I'm going to introduce Mostafa and Mostafa's management. He is brand new to the industry. I will let him talk a lot more about himself, but he's doing a whole lot. He jumped in less than 2 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, and he's already doing some stuff that people out there are not going to believe. I mean, I'm already super excited for him and his group, super excited for him and his team. And so I'm going to let you talk.
Thank you so much for bringing me on this podcast. My name is Mostafa Alsayed. I'm from Lebanon. I'm 21 years old. I'm a manager for talent. I manage 6 producers and 2 artists. Shout out to Tilt, Ram, Loaded, Gelato, HLK, Dave, Mo Prada, and Ed Amazingly. So we just working over here,
Yeah. So how did you get into this? What was the thing that kind of brought you into doing this? Since you're so brand new, like what got you into it?
First of all, I met Loaded in February 2019, and
So
we were
right when the
talking about the
pandemic hit.
industry. Yeah, right
Yeah.
in the pandemic. And we just met and we just started talking about the industry. I'm like, oh yeah, you produce? And he was like, yeah. So I just jumped into some Berkeley College of Music courses, and I took them as an artist management courses, and I completed them. And I was like, yo, bro, let me manage you. Let's see how this goes, because he inspired me, he
Yeah.
inspired me to just get into the industry, because I really saw, I listened to music before, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Who
I
has?
I really heard his music, and I was like, this dude, he got potential. He can be one of the best producers on earth. So
Yeah.
with
When
the
you know,
with
you
the
know.
right guidance, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he's
No.
gonna definitely pop off.
Yeah. I've already heard a lot of your snippets and stuff like that, the stuff that we've been just sort of sharing with each other as we got to know
Yeah,
each other. And that's one of the funniest things is like when you get into this industry, you never expect the things that come to you. You never expect, the people that you end up doing business with. You never expect it to go the way that it does sometimes, and it's hard
exactly.
to find people to work with. It's hard to find legitimate, people that are not
It's
just,
hard to find people who do not cap in their work. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, they're not
they do
trying
not
to
cap in their
gain on you. They're not trying to cap on it. And it's like, I'm really careful about who I share things with. I'm careful about, what
Exactly.
kind of vibes I
I
put
don't be
out there.
sharing. I don't be sharing music with anybody, because
Yeah,
you don't know, whenever somebody leaks music, it's
yeah,
done. It's not gonna be released anymore.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that's like a lot that the connection end of it and how you network has been the biggest asset, I feel like. And on a lot of my socials, I mean, I'm growing in my socials, just because of the kind of person that I am. I felt like I should get my work done first. You know, I should learn the business first, learn the music industry first, especially learn how to do my job as an artist management manager. It's like you're dealing with 25 different things at one time. And if you don't know how to
Exactly.
manage
It's a lot of work. You gotta be a good multitasker. You gotta multitask a lot.
this,
It's people be thinking like this is a piece of cake. Yeah, just make music and drop it. No, this is not how it works. You
yeah,
gotta work, you gotta put on the music, you gotta introduce your music to the world. You gotta know how to market it, you gotta know how to spread the word, how to let people know like who X is, like who this person is.
yeah.
So
So,
that's just how it goes in the industry. Not
mhm.
just make music and
That's how a
release.
lot of
No.
music just sits there, to be honest. That's how a lot of music just sits there on your computer, sits there after a producer goes through and making beats after beats after beats, and then it gets all uploaded onto SoundCloud and YouTube,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then it doesn't really go anywhere because those people are not reaching out. They're not reaching
Yeah.
out to people. And so, you know, how did you get started doing the exciting things that you're up to right now? Because I know you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I really just started reaching out to people, just connecting with people on Instagram. I used to spend the first 6 months in the industry. Um, I was just on Instagram. If you'd see my screen time on the phone, that's like um 10 or 9 hours on Instagram per day,
Sure.
which is a crazy number. That's why I just put these recently.
Yeah, yeah. You do look
Yeah,
like a doctor. Dr. Beast
exactly.
over there,
Yeah.
you know. So tell us a little bit about your background besides music. Like I know that you got started doing this 2 years ago, but what were you doing before?
I was a waiter first. I used to be a waiter. But I quit the job because we have an economical problem over here in Lebanon, and the salary was like $50 if you
Oh,
compare it to the Lebanese. Like that was like 1 million or something like that. 1 million Lebanese pounds is $50. Yeah, this is crazy, but yeah,
that's
before
nuts.
before $1,000 used to be 1.5 million Lebanese pounds, but now $50 is 1 million Lebanese pounds. Like the currency is it's just down. Then after I just quit this job, I started streaming on Twitch, just playing video games, Fortnite, PUBG, all these games with my
What a
friends. But
gamer.
yeah, I'm a gamer. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't click into that because I just felt like the vibe was first, and the audience just wasn't there. It was just me, my brother, my little brother,
Mm,
and my friends watching. Like I didn't see any growth, and if you don't see any growth, that doesn't mean you need to quit. But I really felt like quitting because I had to focus on more things, and then I got into video editing because my uncle, he has his own video editing company, video production company. He makes TV shows, movies, music videos, and everything like that. So he gave me some courses back in the day, and I just learned them all and got into the video editing industry. You know,
yeah. And so that pointed you towards the music industry, which you ended up meeting Loaded and jumped in like headfirst into that. And you
exactly.
found yourself some gold. I'm telling you, like just the little
Yeah,
snippets.
it's not easy to find a good producer nowadays because I can say the market is pretty much oversaturated
Saturated. It's
at the moment.
oversaturated, you know?
Yeah, you got pretty much everybody producing. Like you got this kid who's 1 years old. He's just 1 year old. He's just producing. Like, um, I saw a kid, but he's like really talented. He's 12 years old. He's on TikTok. I forgot his name, but he's producing. He's doing his thing, and he's a vibe. So shout
Yeah.
out to
And
that,
it's only gonna
whoever
get
he
better.
is. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
I want to go and find that guy, whoever he is. I'm gonna probably go and look after this just because I
Yeah,
love seeing stuff like that. I love that interesting.
he's 12 and he makes
Vibe.
some really far music.
Wow. Yeah, and
Yeah,
and that is another thing is like when you jump in from at a really young age,
exactly.
there's
You're
only
gonna
room to grow.
prosper. You're gonna
Yes,
prosper.
you're going to go somewhere and
I started in the industry at 19 years old, and I'm 21 years old now. So I pretty much, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I've accomplished a lot of things. Like I've had two number 1 albums on the Billboard, and we're probably gonna have our third one coming this month with Kodak Black.
oh, that is, tell me when that one releases again.
28th of October.
Dang, so right before
It's
Halloween,
called it's called
that's a
Cutthroat
vibe.
Bill. It's called Cutthroat Bill, and we have track number 8. It's called Starter Kit over there.
Stars get over there.
Yeah, no, it's called Starter Kit, but we got that over there.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's really cool. Kodak Black, that's a really big name. Especially if you're just starting out in the music industry. You're like
Exactly,
laying
and we
some really
also got Trippie Redd. Like Trippie Redd is a pretty much big name. We also have unreleased record with Young Thug and
okay,
with Lil Uzi Vert as well.
dude. And
Yeah,
so my question is, you just from okay, so from a producer's manager's point of view, you are just reaching out to these bigger labels and stuff, or are you reaching to them directly? Are you going to them directly? Because that's what
I
people
reach
mess up.
so sometimes people be expecting to just DM the rapper and he's gonna respond. I mean, this happens like 0.05% of the time where the artist is just gonna respond because, as you know, you're not the only one reaching out over there, you know.
Yeah.
So it's probably 10 to 20,000 producers reaching out, and like the rapper's not gonna check his DMs, obviously.
Yeah.
So you gotta reach out to someone who's close, like someone who's really close to the artist, maybe the engineer, maybe even the rapper's friend. I mean,
Mhm.
if you try to, because they're gonna place your record with the artist, with their friend, with their whoever they are to the artist. You gotta give them their flowers. Like you gotta give some publishing. They're not gonna place your your beats for like nothing. They're not
Yeah.
gonna just do that
Your
because
connection
it's a
is
lot of
huge.
producers.
Yeah, your connection is huge. And if you're not vibing with somebody and you don't act like, if
Yeah,
you, especially if you act like you're only in it just for, what you're gonna get out of it, you're not gonna get
exactly,
anything, like you have
exactly.
to
I
grow
I
that.
really want to try to build my relationships. I build them like on a
Yeah.
genuine relationship part because at the end of the day, you never know. One time I reached out to Lil Durk's engineer.
Mm-hmm.
It was Turn Me Up Josh at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And um Turn Me Up Josh, he passed away 2 years ago. Like right after when I met him. I really liked Turn Me Up Josh. That dude, he was really something. He was a good producer, he was a good engineer. And I really hope he's resting in peace right now.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
shout out to Turn Me Up Josh. This
Yeah.
is this was crazy to me because it was my first loss in the industry. I really clicked with him, and I never even like had this thought in my head where I'm just gonna be. This day is gonna come where Turn Me Up Josh is not here, you know,
You never really
because we
realize that stuff.
because really we in a really short period of time he like when the vibe is there,
Yeah.
so he started calling me my brother and everything, and I was like, oh no, I can't believe it. He just passed away,
Yeah.
and that was crazy to me.
Mhm.
So
That's a sad loss. That is
so
and
you never know when the person is gone. So we really should build this genuine relationship with people
yeah, that's
because
key. It's key in
because it
industry.
is indeed key in
Key.
getting you so far in this industry.
Yes, you have to build those
But
relationships.
unfortunately, there's just a lot of backstabbers over here.
Dude, tell
I've
me
I've
about
had
it.
a lot of I've had a lot of backstabs in this industry, and this is just my second year. There's this producer. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say his name at all. But I sent out his loops to Trippie Redd, and one of his loops got placed with somebody on his album, and he didn't even credit me. He didn't even say thank you. He just, I mean, that was crazy, but he unfollowed me straight after he got the placement. So I
Hey,
really used to do that. I really used to do that out of love. But right now I have this rule in my head. Just, I'm not gonna give no handouts to anybody. You want me to give you a handout, you gotta be cash ready, you know?
yeah,
Like, you gotta be cash ready, definitely.
yeah. And that's the vibe, you know, if you don't well, I always like to build like really strong relationships. I like to sit and think about this person even after I've talked to them, even if it doesn't really go like that far. I might
Yeah,
in my day, I'm like, hey, how is this person doing? I'm just gonna hit them up and see what they're up to. You know, that really goes a lot further than just, hey, I got this loop for you, I got this sample for you, let
exactly.
me
I
send you
got this
this
beat for
file,
you.
you
Just go
know?
and use it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's
You got
really, I
stuff
think
on your
that's
people.
boring. Yeah, I think that's boring.
Yeah,
And not even like that. Like I don't mess with those types of people anymore. And I've come across, oh my gosh, the producer group
I've
that I
met a
belong
lot of
to.
people. I've
Yeah,
met a lot of people.
yeah, there's, I have like
Most of them,
150.
they're just straight a-holes,
Yeah,
and
they
the
really
other
are.
part is just really good. They're just genuine people, real people
I'm
who just
excited for you.
love to connecting, and real good people, like
Yeah.
really good people. I've met um let me shout out Laura real quick. um that's gang, like that's really gang. I met Laura, she manages NXG, and
Okay.
NXG, he's a super fire artist. He's a really good artist. He dropped an album with Working on Dying, you know, the producer collective. Yeah,
Yeah,
he dropped
yeah.
an album with last year, and he just dropped another album this year, last month. Yeah, Equilibrium.
I've heard of
So
that before. I
so stream
probably just,
Equilibrium.
yeah, I think I just listened to that whole album. I'm not sure if it was the same one, but I believe so. NXG, I'm pretty sure it's the same exact person. Um, and that's the thing, like when we're on this end of the totem pole, artists, that whole world is saturated too. There's a lot
Yeah.
of artists out there that don't
Laura's
really have the work
definitely just
ethic.
one of my favorite people I've met in the industry.
Yeah,
I mean, she's just a pure genuine person. Like the exact person I'd be just going up with, you know?
yeah,
This is
yeah,
the person who I want to go up with.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, when you meet somebody and you really get to know them and they're not about the smokes and mirrors, it really shows, you know, and
Exactly.
you can tell almost right away when the vibe is right and when it's not, you know, when they're actually going to do things for you and when they're not expecting, you know, a bunch of crap out of you and expecting you to do all this stuff for them, and they're not going to give you anything to work with or not give you any kind of value back. You know,
Yeah.
you really can tell these types of people. I deal with like a big producer group. I'm not gonna say like who started it or anything like that, but there's a lot of these people in there. There's a lot of producers that are just kind of like they just want their I understand they're hungry. I understand that they need to know that their work is being valued and being, you know,
Yeah,
acknowledged.
but
But
there's a proper way of pushing your work. Sorry, there's a
yeah,
proper way you gotta have in pushing your work. You're just not gonna be reaching out to anybody and just be like, "Yo, just check my beats." They're not gonna reply to you, obviously.
yeah, they're not gonna really they're not even gonna acknowledge you. Most of the time, they don't even they have so much that people are sending to them, and that's one of the reasons why I started building our platform, was because we do talk to music supervisors who are putting placements on film and TV, games.
Yeah,
I mean, we have so many different people that we're doing business with, and it's like the number one problem for them is there's way too much music, way too much stuff for them to
exactly,
go through, and everybody
exactly.
wants to talk to them. Everybody wants to send them just their music, and they have to say no. They have to just ignore it, because when you go through the proper avenue, when you go through the proper way to talk to these people, they're way more than willing to function with you rather than you just saying, hey, you need to listen to this, or hey, check this out, and sending them
And
email.
one thing I can also say is you can't work with anybody. Like sometimes when you prosper and grow, some people are just gonna fall off, you know? They're
Yeah.
gonna fall off
Oh
from
man.
what you've done.
I've had
Because
so many people fall off.
yeah,
So many
because
people.
at the end of the day, when this producer blows up, he's
Mhm.
not gonna be working with this doesn't have to be the way though.
No, it doesn't. No,
Yeah,
I agree. I
but
agree. And that's,
yeah, yeah, this is not always the case.
yeah.
But you're not gonna be working with some smaller people, like some smaller artists, because some of them, I mean, I've had a lot of artists in my DMs. They're like, "Yo, how much for a beat?" And then I'm like, let's say the exclusive for the artist who's independent, let's say 1,000. Like that's way out of the reach, you know.
Yeah.
That's
And
way
most
out of an
artists don't have that just to dispense,
yeah, like because
especially, yeah.
they're independent, so
Mhm.
you just can't work with everybody. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of songs not been dropped, not been dropping, sorry, um because of this, you know,
Yeah.
because of clearing issues, because not anybody can afford your price.
Yeah. And
But
I mean, that's what sets you
some
apart
people
though.
they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy this because I'm buying quality.
Yeah.
And some people are like, nah, this is just way out of my reach. There's this $1,000 client who's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this. And then there's this $50 client who's like, nah, I'll take it from another producer for 25.
Yeah. And see,
But
that's why there's a lot of crap out there. But that's why
they just
there's a lot of
they
just,
just don't look over quality. They just look over the, I don't
yeah.
know what they're
Yeah.
over
And
with,
I
just the
get
price.
it. I get it. People want to sell their tracks. People want to start making money and see traction behind their music. But from our point of view, it's just, it's oversaturated in so many different areas.
Love.
That's why we decided to do the platform, is because we see a lot of these issues. We see a lot of, a lot of um, unvetted, non-professional people in the music industry that are just saturating it, and it's making it a lot harder for people like us to find
Yeah,
quality producers, not only quality producers but artists. It's getting way wild, and that's why I get so happy when I find people that are actually willing to put in the work behind all of this, because it is a lot of work. I get
it is a lot.
excited when I meet quality people, and it's like it's a total different vibe, and I don't function with everybody because, like you said, not everybody has the price. Not everybody can pay the price either.
Yeah,
And it's not
yeah.
easy.
We started out selling our beats for $50.
Dang, I'll take any of your beats for $50. Send me two
Yeah.
of them right now.
right
$50 is so cheap for your
right
quality. Like, I'm not
right
even
now
joking.
we're charging 2.5K a minimum. Like that's the minimum.
And that's nuts because a lot of the producers that are out there are just totally underselling themselves, but it's because
Yeah,
they're not
you really
producing.
gotta know your value.
Yeah,
Like
they're not producing.
I had this one strategy where with every placement we get, we just raise the price, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
With
That's how
every
it should
placement we
though.
get, we raise the price.
That's how it
So we
should
got
go.
this placement, the price was like 500, then 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. And
That's where things start getting.
right now I'm just negotiating a beat price for over 5K. So
Hey, that's where it starts to get money right there. But you've got to have the
yeah,
right team. And that's another thing I wanted to tell, anybody who's just getting into the business and just getting started. You really have to think about your team and who your team
you
players
should
are.
you should definitely get a manager, because I told you that privately one time, but some producers are like, I'm just starting out, so I don't really need a manager. And then I'm like, nah, bro, you need a manager because you're just starting out,
You
and
do.
you really need someone to guide you, to show you the right path.
Yep.
And the manager at the same time, he's gonna be he or she is gonna be your mentor, because
Yeah, yeah, because it's tough, and connections sometimes, as a producer or as an artist, sometimes you just can't make those connections because you're busy
And
working
sometimes,
on
exactly,
the
and
work,
sometimes
you know?
producers don't know how to reach out. Like I've had this compliment from every single person I've talked to or I've connected to. Like they're like, you're really good at connecting with people.
Yeah,
You're really good at connecting with people. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. Because
it goes a long way.
not a lot of people have these good communication skills. And I'm grateful because I really have these communication skills, which is good because in this industry, all you need to have is a laptop, an iPhone, a laptop, a smartphone, and some good communication skills. And that's gonna really take you far. It's gonna really, really blast you off like a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that a lot from a ton of different producers. Like, hey, sometimes I'll ask them, like, hey, what are you using? What are you using to make this music? And they're like, BandLab in my phone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really, dude? Like, that's insane. And some people can work it. Some people know how to how to produce
Like
quality stuff.
I think BandLab, like people should really go for a laptop if they really want to go all into producing,
Yes, yes.
because
Invest.
BandLab doesn't really have the best quality, the best everything, you know. So
Yeah.
I prefer
You
going
have to
on Ableton
invest.
or
Yeah.
FL Studio or anything like that because
Yeah. I got Pro
because I,
Tools. I've got Logic. I got Pro Tools Ultimate. I went all in on the production.
I've actually never used any of these. One time I just tried to produce, and
Tough,
it
huh?
was
It's
it was
crazy.
just it was just a dookie type beat, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, this is not for me, you know, because you can't be excelling at everything.
No.
You can master one aspect in life. That's it. You can't be perfect. You can't be just like I video edit, I manage. I can't be producing. I can't be doing all this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I can force myself to do stuff I'm not good at, even if I see like I got the potential to improve, but this is not for me. I'm not gonna be placing my own beats and just making my own beats because this doesn't make sense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that is a lot of what, you know, a manager is supposed to do, is to figure out their best assets and use them wisely,
yeah,
because it's like
exactly.
there's just too many fish in the sea out there. There's too many producers as it is. So, that's why I wanted to learn what they were doing. I wanted to learn firsthand, like, how much work it takes to be a producer, how much work it takes to be an artist. I am going to be working on my album and probably dropping it. I want to say by January. We're going to start doing it November, so next month, and then December.
So,
Hopefully it's starting.
I'm gonna be sending you some beats just
Yeah,
out of love. I don't want anything. Just out of love. I'm gonna be
good.
sending you.
Oh, we're gonna definitely talk once we get off of this, podcast episode. But I wanted to learn, the hard work. I wanted to learn firsthandedly what they are doing, so so it makes my job more valuable. And that's what I love, is to know the
Did you
value
click
of
into
work.
it? Like, did you click into producing,
Yeah,
or you did?
I started watching stuff on YouTube. I started, kind of messing around with little DAWs here and there. And
That's
then
how I
I just,
started out.
yeah, and then
I would.
I fell in love with it. I fell in love with actually learning how to do the music, because I play the piano, I play the guitar, I sing, I songwrite. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to learn what they're doing, so that if I do work with a producer, we don't have to fuss and fight over who's doing what, and they don't get this vibe that I
Exactly.
don't know what they're doing, and to leave them alone, like I don't know the hard work. I just wanted to be real. I wanted to be, not like, I didn't want to put off this vibe like, I don't care what you do, I don't care how long it takes you to do this, I want this, I want this, I want this. I didn't want to come out like that. I honestly
Yeah.
wanted to learn, and I fell in love with producing. So I'm going to Full Sail right now. I'm going to be having my bachelor's in audio engineering pretty soon. I think I'm over with the next I'll have my bachelor's, I think, next year. I can't remember the exact dates when we all get to graduating, but I'm excited. I've never really, like, um done this type of work before, and
Yeah,
it's a headache.
because engineering, it's all the song,
Yeah.
because you just can't have a good song with
Yeah,
bad
you really can.
engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah.